The Kansas City Chiefs take the field for their final exhibition game of the season as they get set to take on the Green Bay Packers here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Let's go down to the field. The third member of our crew, Michael Coleman, stands by. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike and Trent. It rained just enough to potentially have an impact on the cutting ability. Now, in between the lines there, when a running back or the wide receiver tries to make a cut, he will not have the same kind of traction as he would on a dry field. So they're going to have to compensate and try to make up for that. But all good runners find a way to make a move. And by the way, Trent, were you ever a quarterback in open field and had to make a cut?
I tried to avoid that, Michael. As much as possible, I tried to avoid that. But yeah, occasionally I would have to do that a little bit.
My man got beyond the tackles and headed for the sideline.
Yeah, tried to get the first down and get down.
Mike McCarthy is the head man in Green Bay. Of course, Baker University grad and a guy that they are quite proud of. 11-6 a year ago, 39-28 in his fifth season at the helm with the Green Bay Packers. And again, a guy who comes into this game with pretty much everything set with the exception of a few roster spots as they get set to open the season. We take a look at Todd Haley, of course, in his second season, and his team still trying to get some work done. As we look at the opening coin toss brought to you by Nebraska Furniture Mart, the rookie draft picks for the Kansas City Chiefs representing the team as team captains tonight.
Good evening, gentlemen. Green Bay, it's your choice. Who'll call the toss? What's the tails? Tails is the call. It is tails. Green Bay has won the toss. You wish to receive. Which direction do you want to kick? Just the way you're set up. Green Bay has won the toss and will receive.
So Green Bay has won the toss.
Gentlemen.
That's Ed Hockley, the referee that will work the game tonight. He has been an NFL referee since 1992.
And I think it's great for all the Chief fans out there. I think I'm speaking for everyone to see Cameron Sheffield out on the field. He was part of that coin toss after what happened last week where he was carted off the field. I know everybody was concerned. A lot of prayers and thoughts went his way. It was great to see him walk out with the rest of the rookie draft class out onto the field after what happened last week.
And you think about those rookies and you think about the foundation that's being built here in Kansas City. Those are not only good football players, they're all character guys. All of them, for the most part, captains of their teams at their respective universities.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that when you talk to Scott Pioli, you talk to Todd Haley, you talk about the draft class, you talk about the young guys, the character guys that they're trying to bring in here, build the foundation of this organization, build the foundation of this team. That's the reason why they drafted those guys. They want those guys to come in here and be leaders right away as rookies.
Ryan Suckup has it teed up for Kansas City. Jason Cherry is back deep for the Green Bay Packers. We have absolutely had a blast bringing these preseason games to you on the Chiefs television network, and we hope you enjoy our final broadcast tonight. Suckup has this game underway. A returnable kick taken by Cherry at the goal line. Bobbles the ball, picks it up at the 7. Hit at the 15, ball comes free, and it's covered by Green Bay over on the far side at about the 17-yard line. Matt Flynn is the starting quarterback out of LSU. He replaces Aaron Rodgers as the starter. Flynn in his fourth season. So far in the preseason, 27 of 48, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for this Green Bay team. Javier Arenas down on special teams to make the stop for Kansas City. Brandon Jackson is the lone setback. Finley comes in motion, lines up wing to the right on the first play from scrimmage. Slant, and it's dropped. Midwest Ford dealers bring you the starting lineups. Lang, College, Wells, Sitton, and Tauscher, the starting offensive line for Green Bay. Finley, Driver, Jennings, Jackson, and Hall. And of course, Flynn is the quarterback, is Donald Driver. You take a look at the veteran out of Alcorn State in his 13th season in the National Football League. 2nd and 10, 3-step drop. Throw it in the flat. Jennings makes the reception at the 23-yard line, brought down by Brandon Carr. As we take a look at the Chiefs starting defense. Tyson Jackson, Ron Edwards, and Glenn Dorsey up front. Mike Vrabel, Corey Mays, along with Demario Williams and Tamba Hali is out tonight. Tell you more about that in just a moment. Brandon Flowers, Eric Berry, John McGraw, Brandon Carr get the start. Pickup of 6. Derek Johnson in defensively for Kansas City. 3rd down and 4 for Green Bay. Flynn will operate out of the shotgun with an empty backfield. Looking right, now back left, throws it underneath, caught shy of the 1st down. Derek Johnson there to bring down Greg Jennings. It'll bring up a 4th down as Johnson with a good stop defensively.
Good job by Derek Johnson in coverage. He rallies to the ball after the completion to prevent Jennings from picking up the 1st down. I think one of the other things you're going to see, we talked with Todd Haley when Tamba Hali was mentioned that he's not going to play. They want to try Demario Williams at that rush in with his hand down in the ground. Change up some of those 3rd down packages just to see how versatile some of these linebackers can be.
Match day to punt. Arenas back deep for Kansas City. Pressure from Greenwood. A high spiral. Arenas takes it at the 24. Finds a seam across the 30. Gets the left sideline. Being chased into Packer territory. And he's pushed out of bounds near sideline. Inside the 35 at about the 31 is Brandon Jackson, the running back. Helped prevent a touchdown return for the exciting Javier Arenas. Good block on the play by Kansas City's Corey Greenwood as well.
As nice of a return as that was for Javier Arenas, I want people to recognize the hustle that it took Corey Greenwood. He was the one that came within inches of blocking that punt, and he was the one at the other end of the field that was making the block to break Javier down the sideline. That's just incredible hustle on his part.
A return of 44. Moeaki and Bowe split to the right side of the formation. Urban to the left. Castile and Jones, the running back tandem. Castle looks, throws underneath. It's off the hands of Jeremy Urban on a crossing pattern. Your Midwest Sport dealers bring you the starting lineups. Albert, Waters, Niswanger, Lilja, and Richardson up front for Kansas City. Pope, Bo, Chambers, along with Thomas Jones and Tim Castile. Of course, Matt Castle, the quarterback. 2nd and 10 as he takes the snap. Urban can't reel this one in as 2 defenders were there for Green Bay. Pickett, Raji, along with Neal up front for the Packers. Sam Shields, by the way, on the coverage. Poppins, A.J. Hawk, Barnett, and Zombo gets the start at linebacker. Shields, the rookie, undrafted, listed as the 4th team, moves into the starting position for this game. Castle on 3rd down, steps up, now moving to his right, being chased, throws it into the end zone. And Dwayne Bowe trying to tightrope that sideline, get those feet down, inbounds, could not. So it brings up a 4th down. Morgan Burnett on the coverage for Green Bay.
Green Bay blitzes a couple of the linebackers up the middle. Barnett, you can see, gets knocked to the ground in his pursuit of Castle. I'm sure the Green Bay sideline is going to be questioning whether or not Matt crossed the line of scrimmage on the throw. But they didn't call it. Dwayne Bowe had a chance there, but even if he catches that ball, his feet were off the ground.
Ryan Suckup comes on to attempt what would be a 51-yard field goal and his longest of the preseason. High snap, good place. The kick is up. It is off the crossbar. So the Chiefs can't put points on the board after the good run back by Arenas. We're back to Arrowhead after. No score in Kansas City. Each team has had the football here at Arrowhead Stadium.
You have different people around the country that talk about the importance or the lack thereof of the importance of the 4th preseason game. Watch Corey Greenwood here. He dives, he lays out for the punt, has a chance to block it. Now he could stay on the ground and jog down the field, but instead, right at the bottom of your screen, number 61 on your left there, he comes down and makes the block that breaks Javier Arenas down the sideline to give the Chiefs that field position.
Jackson runs right, Hit by Derek Johnson at the 43-yard line, brought down at the 45. Pick up a 4 on the play.
And just to finish that thought, Corey Greenwood is a guy, one of the guys fighting for a roster spot. Whether or not he's fighting to practice squad, he's fighting to make the roster, be a special teams guy, a contributor on down and distance. But just that type of hustle and that type of commitment is going to make Scott Pioli and Todd Haley take notice.
And in each of our conversations over the last few weeks with Todd Haley, Corey Greenwood's name has come up in the conversation, and we haven't brought it up. Obviously, he has got the attention of the coaches. Play action, rolling back left, throw underneath. Havner, the tight end, has it. He'll lose 1 on the play as Brandon Flowers makes the stop at the 44. Spencer Havner, the tight end out of UCLA in his 3rd season. So it brings up 3rd down for this Green Bay team. 3rd and 6. Football just shy of the Green Bay 45. Chance for the Chiefs defense to deliver another 3 and out perhaps. Flynn out of the shotgun with 2 receivers split left. Has time, now flush in the pocket. Throws it underneath high, intended for Jordy Nelson. Coverage by Carr.
Nice job by the Chiefs interior line. You'll see the pressure, see the pocket coming down. They bring a linebacker, they bring a safety, put the pressure on the quarterback, cause him to move his feet, not make an accurate throw. Nice pressure by the Chiefs.
On his last opportunity, Javier Arenas went 44 yards. Bryan on to punt. The left-footed kicker lofts it. Good coverage kick. Arena takes it at the 20, hit at the 21, and he's going to be brought down after a pickup of about 2 on the play. Spencer Havner back down deep on special teams to make the stop for Green Bay. We're underway in Arrowhead. 11:20 to play in the first quarter. No score. Kansas City as the Chiefs face the Green Bay Packers. Pressure from the Kansas City defense forces an errant throw on 3rd down just a moment ago.
And that takes us to the keys of the game. For the offense, it's to get a fast start. We know the last couple of weeks they've had turnovers on their first drive, and for their defense to put pressure on the young quarterbacks, which they got done last series.
Thomas Jones rambles for 9 on 1st down as Simpkins out of Coastal Carolina makes the stop for Green Bay.
This is going to be a nice test for this Chiefs offensive line. Last season, the Green Bay Packers were #1 in the NFL against the rush.
Jones again negotiates the right side of the offensive line. Maybe gets a yard. Zombo makes the stop. Outside linebacker out of Central Michigan. Copper, McCluster, Moiaki come in on 3rd down for Kansas City. Urban Bow and Thomas Jones out. 3rd and less than a yard for the Chiefs. Pitch it, McCluster has a seam as he gets the 1st down, cuts inside, comes across the 40, out to the 45, brought down at the 46-yard line by Frank Zombo.
This is a fake dive with a pitch. You're trying to get the defensive end to bite down on the fake to the fullback, which they do. They get Frank Zombo, the rookie, to bite down on the dive up the middle, and we're able to get the ball outside for Jamal to get the 1st down.
McCluster gets 14. Running the left is Jones into Green Bay territory, and there's a Packer slow getting up.
Nice job by the Chiefs offensive lineman. Once again, 1st down. You get 7-8 yards on 1st down, you're giving yourself a much better chance for converting.
For an instant replay. Steady diet of Jones as he runs right and finds a seam into the secondary and picks up another 1st down. Interesting note, if you look at this Kansas City team running the football this preseason, they're averaging 150 yards on the ground per game.
Good patience by Jones. He's following behind Brian Waters as he sees everything cluttered up on the inside. His vision takes him outside, and he kicks it into another gear to get around the edge.
And of that 150, the longest run from scrimmage this preseason, 21 at Tampa Bay by Jackie Battle. Jones again runs right for short yardage. Zombo on the stop for Green Bay.
you could see on that run, just having that veteran presence, someone that's been there, he realizes that the play is breaking down, that there's nowhere to go. Maybe that's something Jamal can learn from, Dexter can learn from. They want to try and use their speed and bounce around, but he took it up inside and just tried getting back to the line of scrimmage.
First pass of the drive, and it's intercepted. Bo slipped on the cut, and Green Bay's Jared Bush makes the interception. So the Packers get the football with 8:30 to play in the first quarter. No score in Kansas City. No score. Kansas City and Green Bay here at Arrowhead Stadium. 8.5 to play in the first quarter. With Trent Green, I'm Mike Kelly. Matt Castle just threw his second interception of the preseason in a pass intended for Dwayne Bowe.
And a lot of times it's a trust communication. Right here, Dwayne is coming back down the stem, and Matt is anticipating him curling inside. You can see that's where the trust between a quarterback and receiver, when you're trying to place the ball, and in this league you have to throw the ball early because the defensive backs are too fast. You're trusting them to be in one spot, and they're reading something different, and that's what happened is an interception.
Hall and Jackson, the running back tandem. Swain comes in motion, settles to the right side. Play action, looking over the middle. Caught by Swain at the 48-yard line. John McGraw, closest defender to Brett Swain out of San Diego State. Ed Hockley is the referee.
Pass was incomplete.
Pass is ruled
Second
incomplete.
down.
Another replay from Ford.
I'm glad they called it incomplete, but he looks like he may have gotten his hand underneath the football. But going back to what we talked about with Dwayne Bowe and Matt Castle, that's why the starters are going to be playing longer for the Chiefs, because trying to get everybody on the same page, they're not quite there yet. But when you look at the Green Bay Packers, they've got everybody going. They got everyone going on all cylinders. Aaron Rodgers, the first quarterback in his first 2 seasons as a starter to throw over 4,000 yards, and he's got Donald Driver and Greg Jennings, 2 veteran receivers that he's worked with. That's why those guys aren't playing. They're on the same page right now. Matt Castle and his group of receivers, that's why they'll be playing more.
Mike McCarthy might have seen the same thing that you thought you saw on that replay, and he wants to take a look at it. So the play is under review. We're underway, midway through the first quarter in Kansas City. No score.
Stands. The pass was incomplete. It's second down.
Look at the top of the screen. Mike McCarthy in the ear of the head linesman and the field judge. Our field judge over on this side, but the head linesman on this crew working with Ed Hockley is a Kansas City guy, Mark Hittner. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Matt Flynn hands to Jackson running left. Chase from the backside, brought down at the 35. Andy Studebaker was lurking, but Glenn Dorsey got their first pickup of 3 on the play.
And this is exactly what they did a week ago, the Chiefs defense. They held the Eagles to a very low percentage of 3rd down conversions. And when you're forcing a team to go 3rd and long, it changes the aspect of what you can do from an offensive play calling standpoint and puts more of the advantage in the defense.
Corey Hall is the lone setback. Flynn out of the shotgun. Vrabel and Johnson cheat up. Flynn pressure backside, hit by Demario Williams out of that sub-rush lineup. Demario Williams with the sack. His 3rd in 2 games.
We talked at the beginning of how Demario Williams up at the top of your screen is playing for Tamba Ali in these 3rd down situations. This is the 3rd time that the Packers have had a 3rd down situation where Demario Williams has had his hand on the ground coming off the edge. And this is what they want to find out about Demario. If they can utilize him both inside and outside as a rush guy.
3 drives, 3 3-and-outs for Green Bay. McCluster back deep to receive this punt. I spiral. Calling for the fair catch is the rookie from Ole Miss. He makes it at the 37-yard line. So the Chiefs defense has played well here early. 7 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the first. No score between the Chiefs and the Packers here at Arrowhead. Still time to catch all the action this fall with the Chiefs at the new Arrowhead Stadium. 2010 season tickets available starting at $250. Reserve your seats today at kcchiefs.com. The new Arrowhead, new body, same soul. DeMario Williams coming off the edge to get a sack. And the Chiefs have it at their 38-yard line. Some substitutions up front as Ryan Lilja done for the night. Brian Waters done for the night. Chris Chambers is out as well. John Asamoah in for Kansas City. And Dukwe in. You take a look at big number 60. Casey Wigman in at center for Kansas City. Albert and Richardson stay in at the tackles. Castle heaves it for Bowe. Contact, no call. Jared Bush on the coverage for Green Bay.
And whether that ball is complete or not, I like the fact that they're pushing it down the field, giving Matt a chance to throw, loosen up the defense. Matt does a good job of stepping into the throw. He knows he's going to take a shot. They're not going to call that when the defender goes for the ball as opposed to ripping at the receiver's arms. That's when you'll get the call. But when he jumps up and attempts to get the ball, they're not going to make that call.
Tim Castile angling back towards the right. Across the 40 out to the 43 is Derek Martin. Makes the stop for Green Bay. Pickup of 5 for the former Alabama star, Tim Castile. Mike Cox in now at fullback for Kansas City. Jamal Charles also in the backfield. Castle on third down. Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 4 for the Chiefs. Caught. Charles, first down. Brought down at the Green Bay 37 by number 37, Sam Shields.
And in a lot of offenses, you call this a running play. Certain offenses, you're throwing the swings, you're throwing the flats, and you have a dynamic runner like Jamal Charles who can turn a 2-yard throw into a 15-yard gain. A lot of teams utilize that as part of their running game.
Pickup of 19. Charles tries to go right, changes his mind. Gets a couple of yards to the 35. Couldn't find a seam outside, cut it up, and picked up 2.
And that's a good decision by Jamal. We talked about earlier about Thomas Jones, seeing that it wasn't there on the outside. He cuts in and gets what yardage he can. There, Jamal, you know he was tempted with his speed. He wants to bounce that around and try and stretch it outside. Good decision on his part to take it vertical and pick up a couple yards.
2nd and 8. Swing pattern. Good catch by Charles. Inside the 30. Ball is ripped free. Covered by Green Bay. Pepra was the man that made the stop and ripped the football free, and the Packers have it on the 2nd turnover of the night by Kansas City. This one, I think, is going to be reviewed. Todd Haley waves it, tosses it. We're going to have a review.
You could see both of his knees. It appears both of his knees are going to be on the ground. So this one should fall in the Chiefs' favor before it comes out. There it comes out. He's already got both knees on the ground. I was wrong on the last one, so you never know. It has to be conclusive. And a lot of times, if the officials don't have the right angle and can't make it conclusive, they won't change it.
There is no challenge on the play. After discussion, the ruling is the player was down by contact before the ball came loose.
Good piece of officiating by veteran crew.
Line of game.
Discuss instead of taking time away from the game.
Nice job by Ed Hockley and his crew. They got together, they talked about it, and that's really what the league wants them to do. They want them to get together and talk about those things and make sure they get it right.
So it's a pickup of 7 for Kansas City. O'Connell comes in. At tight end, Jackie Battle comes in. Mike Cox will be in the front of the I formation. 2 tight ends, Moiaki and O'Connell, on 3rd and less than a yard. Battle running right, picks up the first down inside the 35-yard line, or the 25-yard line down to the 23. Justin Harrell on the stop, another Ford replay.
Mike Cox is the lead blocker here tonight. We've talked several times about Tim Castile. That is one of those position battles that is up for grabs right now. Those 2 fullbacks, most teams don't keep 2 fullbacks, so you've seen both players play a lot tonight because there's a decision to be made.
Jackie Battle again running right. Trying to move the pile. 3 defenders, 4 defenders there for Green Bay. Leading the charge, C.J. Wilson out of East Carolina. Charles comes back for Kansas City. Jackie Battle comes off for Todd Haley's team. Can Kansas City try to establish that identity as a tough play-action team that wants to establish the run first? Underneath the screen, Charles weaves his way inside the 20, close to the 15 as a flag comes flying in. Simpkins on the stop. Let's hear from Ed
Pass
Hockley.
interference, offense. Number 8 was blocking downfield before the ball was caught. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
You'll see down at the bottom of your screen, Jeremy Horn is already locked in and blocking before the screen pass is thrown. I know, Mike, you've done quite a few college games, and that's one of those college rules where guys can go down the field and start blocking. That's why those wide receiver screens are so effective in the college game. But Jeremy's going to have to learn at this level you can't make contact before the ball is completed.
Horn, the rookie from UMass. Second down for the Chiefs. Castle pumps, throws underneath, caught on a crossing pattern by Bo inside the 20 to the 15 to the 10. Debo wrestled out of bounds inside the 5 at the 3. It'll be first and goal, Kansas City, as Alex Joseph makes the stop. Pickup of 30 for the Chiefs.
Nice job by Matt, standing tall in the pocket. Brandon Albert runs the guy back. Matt steps up in there. He knows he's going to get hit. There's two guys in his face. He throws an accurate ball to Dwayne Bowe. Dwayne does a good job on the crossing route underneath. He's so big and strong. He gets in the open field. He can run through and get those extra yards.
Cox running left inside the 2, brought down by Pepra. Remember his rookie year. I mean, saw a lot of that with Dwayne Bowe, where he would make the reception and then shed a few tacklers along the way.
And that's where there's been some frustration with his career up to this point, is just the consistency, because everybody remembers those plays, remember those big plays, and how he's able to do that as a strong physical receiver. So far this preseason, we've seen a lot more consistency out of him.
Second and goal from the 2, backfield in the eye. Loki, the lead blocker, play action by Castle, looks in the end zone, lofts it. Leonard Pope, touchdown, Kansas City. So the big tight end from Georgia with his first touchdown reception of the preseason.
Nice play fake by Mike. Good job by Jackie Battle coming up to get the block on the linebacker. Matt just drifts back and buys some room. Finds Pope in the back of the end zone. Nice touch, nice touchdown. Great drive by the Chiefs. Exactly what they wanted from their first crew offensive unit.
62 yards in 10 plays. The 2-yard touchdown pass. Ryan Suckup comes on for the point after, out of the hold of Dustin Colquitt. Good snap from Gafford. Good hold. Kick also good. Kansas City breaks on top here in the final preseason game of the season, as we take one more look at the 30-yard gain from Dwayne Bowe.
Nice job by Matt reading the levels of the defense. You can see Moiaki, 81, coming downfield. He was on a crossing route to give separation for Bowe underneath. Nice job by Matt in the pocket, just buying time with his feet, putting a very catchable ball out there for Leonard Pope.
Scoring drive is brought to you by Sonic. Dwayne Bowe and the Kansas City Chiefs cover 62 yards in 10 plays, 4 minutes and 28 seconds off the clock. Leonard Pope with the 2-yard touchdown reception. Hey, Chiefs fans, it's back to football time. Mark your calendars for these upcoming Chiefs events. September the 9th at 5 p.m. Celebrate the NFL football season at the Back to Football Bash at the new Arrowhead Stadium. Brought to you by Bud Light. This free event will feature a Chiefs pep rally where fans can hear from Chiefs chairman Clark Hunt, general manager Scott Pioli, get player autographs, take tours of the new stadium, and listen to live music. You can also visit the Chiefs Hall of Fame, presented by Time Warner Cable. Play in the Sports Lab, or check out the new team store. Then on September the 10th, show your spirit. Wear your Chiefs red. It's Red Friday. Chiefs personnel and local celebrities will be on street corners taking donations for the annual Red Friday magazine. And be on the lookout for the Chiefs cheerleaders and other Others who will paint the town red. Havner on the receiving end. And Green Bay has it at the 34. Jackson in at tailback. Havner, the tight end, comes in motion, settles wing to the right on a 1st and 10 for Green Bay. They trail 7-0. Jackson, who played at Nebraska, stuffed at the 36-yard line after a pickup of 2. Belcher on the stop.
We saw on the offensive side of the ball that they took some of their starters out, some of their veteran guys out, and got some of the young talent in. You can see on the defensive side of the ball they've kept most of those guys intact. You have to be impressed with the way the defense has played up to this point. I know they're playing Matt Flynn and they're playing some of their younger guys on the Green Bay side of the ball, but I like the way the Chiefs defense is coming out and being aggressive tonight.
2nd down, Flynn throws it right side. Swain makes the reception at the 41. Good set of hands in front of Andy Studebaker. Pickup of 4 on the play will bring up 3rd down. So 3rd and a long 3 for Green Bay. And the Chiefs fans here at Arrowhead make some noise. Corey Hall is the lone setback. Flynn out of the shotgun. Throws it. Caught. Buried. Johnny on the spot immediately to make the stop. As Donald Lee makes the reception, the tight end. But the rookie from Tennessee with a very good defensive play in the open field.
And this is a matchup the Packers like to utilize. They like to put their tight ends out in the slot. Donald Lee goes down at the bottom. A lot of times you'll get Lee matched up on a strong safety, matched up on a linebacker. Great job by Eric Berry reacting to the throw, coming up and making the tackle to stop the 1st down.
And was that a form tackle? That was
That's pretty good. That's pretty good form for the young guy.
Greenwood again with some pressure on the kicker. McCluster lets it bounce. Skips to about the 20 and then out of bounds at the 21. Green Bay's had it 4 times. They've punted 4 times. 18 yards of total offense as Dexter McCluster and the Chiefs get the football back late in the 1st quarter, leading by 7. Hey, we all know that Arrowhead Stadium is the greatest tailgating stadium in the United States, but you are most definitely going to want to cut that tailgating short for Monday Night Football. A huge pregame is planned, and it definitely means that it'll start early, meaning that you need to get to your seats for this serious show. Be in your seats at least 30 minutes before kickoff of the Monday night game against San Diego. This will be a must-see opportunity. Quentin Lawrence on the reception. Shields on the stop for Green Bay as Brody Coyle comes in at quarterback. His first action since Atlanta.
And I like that he is getting his first action since the first game of the preseason you mentioned against Atlanta. Brody's missed some time. Let him come out and make a quick throw. First down, 1 step, get it out of your hand, get your confidence, feel being in the pocket again, having the football in your hand under live action. Good job getting the ball out of his hand quickly.
O'Connell in motion. Croyle hands to Battle. Hit at the 24, brought down at the 26-yard line. That is the end of the 1st quarter of play. Todd Haley's Kansas City Chiefs doing it on both sides of the football, defensively and the offense moving the ball as they break on top 7-0 after 1. We've played 1 quarter in Kansas City. The Chiefs with a 7-0 lead. 62-yard drive, 10 plays, capped off by the 2-yard touchdown pass from Matt Castle to Leonard Pope. Castle now has the baseball cap on, and Brody Croyle comes on for the Chiefs. 1st quarter stats are brought to you by Garmin.
And you really couldn't ask for much more balance than that on the offensive side of the ball. That's about as perfect as you can be. Nice job by the defense. We mentioned in the last series how they've done a good job of not allowing the Packers to get in any sort of rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. Good job by the Chiefs defense, and Brody Croyle and a number of these backups are in for the Chiefs offense. Let's see if they can keep that same rhythm, to get that same tempo going that Matt Castle had his crew doing.
Albert and Dukeway along with Wigman, Osimo, and Richardson up front for Kansas City. Brody straight drop pressure comes, sidearms it. Out of bounds intended for Castile. Getting pressure on Brody Croyle. Jared Bush. Coverage on the play by Derek Martin. So Dustin Colquitt will come on to punt for the first time. Cherry back deep for Green Bay.
You have to remember that Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, is one of the guys that originated the zone blitzes, and he's bringing pressure there where a guy's coming free, but he has another guy dropping into coverage, so there's nowhere for Brody to go with the ball. Good job getting it out of his hand.
Dustin Colquitt, who's averaged just under 44 yards per kick in the preseason, unloads on this one. Cherry spinning to the left, hemmed in, turns back right, caught from behind, and dropped by a number of players from Kansas City. Leading the charge was Quentin Lawrence, another guy trying to allow his special teams work to help him find a rock. 7-0 Kansas City early in the second quarter. You could win a $50 Price Chopper card by submitting a picture of your favorite tailgate party. And the tailgate rates that food that you'll be serving. Each week we'll pick one lucky winner and they'll receive the Price Chopper $50 gift card. Watch the Price Chopper Game Day Show Sundays at 10 a.m. for the weekly winner. You can go to KCTV5.com for details. Green Bay on first down picks up 6 yards. Jackie Bates on the stop for Kansas City. So it's 2nd and 4. Lumpkin is the tailback for Green Bay. Flynn hands to him. Skips a little and it's going to be brought down shy of the first down.
Demario Williams is now back at his normal position. Playing on the inside. On first down, he flies out and was able to make the tackle. On second down, they blitz him. They blitz him inside and put pressure to blow up the fullback in the backfield to give the D-line the chance to make that stop.
Deion Gales comes in for Kansas City. 3rd and about a yard. Lumpkin runs left, gets a seam, gets the first down, puts the shoulder down, and out to about the 42.
I like the aggressive approach that the Chiefs have on the defensive side of the ball. You'll see Corey Mays come up here. He's blocked by the fullback. Good vision by the back to bounce it to the outside where the lane is. Once again, there's Demario coming over the top from the backside linebacker spot, making the tackle down the field.
Pickup of 9. It's the first down for the Packers in the ballgame. Flynn with pressure. Throws left, coming back to make the reception. Wide receiver West, Chaston West, brought down at the 49 by Ricky Price.
The defense has played well up till this point. This time they rushed 5 guys, so you have a lot of one-on-ones going across the board, causing Matt Flynn to slide in the pocket to get that completion.
Pickup of 7, 2nd and 7 as Kuhn takes it, cuts it back right, gets into Kansas City territory and should have the first down inside the 48 of the Chiefs. Sean Smith on the stop. Sean Smith, defensive end who played at South Carolina. Lumpkin back in at tailback. Flynn on 1st and 10, bubble screen. Williams catches it. Patrick Williams pushed out of bounds by Mike Richardson at the 40-yard line. Mike Richardson, 4-year pro out of Notre Dame.
Nice recognition by Matt Flynn there, realizing that Richardson was playing off, do a quick look throw. Richardson slips on his recovery to come forward and make the tackle, allowing the Packers to pick up 7.
2nd and 3, backfield in the eye again. Someone moved early.
Number 67, 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Ball start on Nick McDonald, who you couldn't miss. You think the play was going left?
Good thing he didn't run over the quarterback.
Second and 8. Flynn play action. Pressure backside. Throws it underneath. Swain's got it at the 31. Brett Swain out of bounds on the near sideline at the 23. Kendrick Lewis on the stop for Kansas City.
You can see the aggressiveness of the Chiefs linebackers. They stay up pretty tight, which allows that window in the second level. Nice job by Matt Flynn recognizing that from the defense. The secondary got deep. The safety Kendrick Lewis got deep because of the outside threat of the Packer receivers, leaving that hole in the middle.
22-yard catch and run for Brett Swain. First down. Lumpkin brought down by Richardson, who came off the edge.
Nice job by Richardson here at the bottom of your screen, coming in and reading that right away. You can see his vision takes him in there. That's really a called corner blitz. If you go back and you look, you can see the safety rotating over the top. Kendrick Lewis was rotating over the top. That was a called corner blitz. Nice timing by the Romeo Cornell and his defensive staff, having Richardson come off the edge.
Second and 11. Back shoulder throw incomplete on the far side. Intended for West.
Nice coverage by Jackie Bates. This has become the trend now. We've mentioned it several times during the preseason. When corners don't turn around, a lot of times those receivers and the quarterbacks are on the same page, where you're trying to throw a firm ball to the back shoulder where the receiver can react. Jackie may have gotten away with a little bit of grab there. He got his hand on his chest, but no flag, no foul.
10th play of the drive, 3rd and 11 from the Kansas City 24-yard line. Flynn. Crossing pattern. Swain makes the catch at the 10. First down for Green Bay. As Kendrick Lewis delivered a blow. Pick up a 14 on that play. On a well-thrown ball.
The Chiefs decide to bring pressure, leaving a lot of one-on-ones around the field. If you're not going to get pressure on the quarterback quickly, you're giving him time to look up the field. With all those one-on-one matchups, giving a guy a chance to get open.
Crabtree, lineup as a wing. They toss it right. Lumpkin. Hit at the 10, brought down at the 9. Sean Smith on the stop for Kansas City, with support from Bates.
That play didn't look like it was going anywhere from the beginning. You can see the back stutter. He takes a couple of steps before he gets to the line of scrimmage. That's because the Chiefs have done a good job sealing up the hole where he wants to go. Anytime you see the back start stuttering 3, 4, 5 yards deep in the backfield, you know you've gotten some good penetration and closed off where he's trying to get to.
Second and goal from the 9. Flynn out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Swain again over the middle, makes the reception at the 5. Here Walters on the coverage for Kansas City.
You can see the Chiefs dropping back into coverage. They're telling their linebackers, you can see that wall of linebackers right around the 3-yard line and the goal line. Keep everything in front of you and react to it. Don't let them get in the end zone, but don't let anybody behind you, and that's exactly what they did.
12th play of the drive. It's 3rd and goal from the 5 after the pickup of 2. Flynn fires into the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Swain. Good defensive play by Kendrick Lewis out of Ole Miss.
Nice play by Kendrick Lewis. The Chiefs decide to go coverage on this down. They rush 3, drop 8 into coverage, and the Packers are just trying to find a crease or a window somewhere in there. You see the receiver gets right over the goal line, and that's a timing throw. The quarterback getting out of his hand. Good reaction by Kendrick Lewis.
Belcher McGee along with Arenas and Washington come in for the Kansas City defense on this 4th and goal from the 5. Chiefs lead it 7-0.
On 3rd down, the Chiefs rush 3, dropped 8. Let's see what their philosophy on 4th. Are they going to? Looks like they may bring a safety and some linebackers.
Crowded Arrowhead on its feet. Flynn with pressure throws back of the end zone. Swain juggling it. Incomplete. Arenas on the coverage. So Green Bay with its best movement, but Brett Swain cannot pull in this pass from Matt Flynn. 7-0 Chiefs. For 71 yards, but the Chiefs come up with a stop on 4th down, and Kansas City gets the football back. Todd Haley's team leading by the score of 7-0. The NFL season is here. Single game tickets for the Chiefs' first season in the new Arrowhead Stadium can be purchased now. Tickets as low as $30. Get yours today at kcchiefs.com. The new Arrowhead. New body. Same soul.
And I like the defensive approach that Romeo Crennel and his staff put together. On 3rd down, they rush 3, drop 8, close up all those zones when the Packers were trying to get right across the goal line. On 4th down, put pressure on the young quarterback. Matt Flynn doesn't have a lot of experience. They bring safeties, they bring linebackers, they leave their guys in one-on-one. Nice stop, nice breakup by the Chiefs defense.
Brody Croyle, deep handoff, Battle running right across the 10. Jackie Battle, 1st down to the 16-yard line. Simpkins on the stop for Green Bay. Pickup of 11.
Nice job by Ndukwe. You can see him coming from the right side of your screen around to the left. It seems like every week, Mike, we're talking about Jackie. Every week he's coming up with plays either on special teams, in the running game, catching the ball out of the backfield, and he steps up big with a large chunk to get out of their own end zone.
1st and 10 for Kansas City. Draw play to Battle. Angling right across the 20 into the secondary. Stiff arms. Jackie Battle right sideline into Green Bay territory. Out of bounds. Inside the Packers 35 to the 33 is Sam Shields. Forces him out of bounds. And how about the Houston star? Jackie Battle.
Good job by Brody Croyle looking up the field on the draw play, handing the ball off to Jackie. You can see that stiff arm. That's a Sports Center type of stiff arm. That's one of those ones that makes the highlights. At least highlights for the Chiefs, not for the Packers, because he puts his hand right on the forehead of the safety and knocks him down.
Jackie Battle had a 21-yard run against Tampa Bay. It was the longest run from scrimmage for the Chiefs this preseason. He just went 50 on that play. Williams in. Backfield in the offset eye. Brody looks right side. Caught by Moiaki. His first reception of the preseason for the former star from Iowa, as he beat Derek Martin on the coverage.
The Chiefs do a good job of play action fake. Their first 2 plays in this series were run plays. They come back to a draw fake. Brody does a good job of sealing those linebackers so they think it may be a run. It's nice to see Moiaki involved. We talked about him early on being involved in the offense and the presence he was making early in training camp. Finally getting back healthy and getting involved in the offense.
First reception of the preseason to the 18-yard line. O'Connell in motion right. Williams up the middle. Spins off a man at the 11. Hard running. Inside the 10. A 1st down to the 8. Zombo on the stop.
You have to like the determination of Williams here. Nice hole by the offensive line up front. He keeps his legs moving, keeps spinning, doesn't let the Packers wrap him up. There's a nice battle going for that last running back spot.
Same thing, partner. Battle, 5 carries, 68 yards, and now Williams with a couple of big carries. And he gets another chance. Tries to angle it left side. The defense closes, making the stop with Simpkins. Simpkins played at Coastal Carolina.
And football is such a game of momentum. You talk about the Packers putting together a long drive, a lot of plays and a long drive. Chiefs stop them on 4th down. They get the ball at their own 5-yard line. Here they put together some big plays, get down. They have the ball inside the 10 now. Big momentum swing. Nice job by the Chiefs offense.
Chiefs are trying to cap off a 95-yard drive as Williams runs right inside the 5. Williams is going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. Pepra on the stop. Loki comes in. Pope comes in as we take another look at the run by Javoris Williams.
And we keep talking about the battle for those running back spots. But how about the job of the offensive line? We've got some of these backup offensive linemen, some of these young offensive linemen getting a chance, and they just keep pushing a pile and creating holes.
Loki in at fullback. Jackie Battle the tailback. Moriaki lines up wing right and comes in motion to the left. Now back right. Battle diving towards the end zone. Does he break the plane? No.
That would be an interesting one to see on replay, because whether or not Jackie was down, he was reaching for the goal line. The ball came loose. Loki recovers it in the end zone, but the official had already blown his forward momentum or forward progress stop.
So it's 4th and goal for Kansas City. Moriaki in motion. Battle, touchdown. A 1-yard plunge caps off a 95-yard drive. Everybody getting dirty up front, huh?
I was about to say nice job by Loki going through there, but all he did was run through the hole into the end zone and turn around and watch him score. So the big man's got to find somebody to block.
Hey, he's just excited to be out there in that situation.
That's why they let him spike the ball. Wait till they go back and they realize he didn't hit anybody. They're going to be mad they let him spike it.
Suck up with a point after. Chiefs enjoy a 14-0 advantage late in the first half in Kansas City. Jackie Battle and the Kansas City Chiefs have a 14-0 lead here at Arrowhead. The Sonic scoring summary as the Chiefs go 95 yards in 8 plays, 50 on this ramble by Jackie Battle.
Nice job by Brody getting back, getting Moriaki involved. We talked about the rookie having some presence at training camp. Nice for him to get his first catch of the preseason.
Battle with the 1-yard touchdown plunge, and Kansas City with the 2-touchdown lead. Suck up the kick. Cherry back deep for Green Bay. Ryan hits it. It's returnable. Cherry takes it about a yard deep. Angling right. He's contained. Breaks one tackle, but then hit at the 16-yard line. Brought down at the 17-yard line by Donald Washington. 3:39 to go in the first half. 14-0 Kansas City. We're enjoying ourselves in Kansas City tonight. 14-0 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. 3:39 to go in the first half. Michael Coleman roaming the sidelines for us.
Hey guys, when Emmett Thomas was praising his defensive back for stopping that touchdown by the Packers, that's when Jackie Battle was en route to that 50-yard gain. The whole secondary stood up and screamed for Jackie to take care of his business because they knew their hard work was being rewarded as they spoke. Back to you guys.
Flynn throws over the middle. Caught by Dillon. Brought down by Ricky Price. Donald Washington a little slow getting up. Pick up a 14 on first down for the Packers. Matt Flynn started the ball game in place of Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers was only expected to go a series. Scratched though before the game by Mike McCarthy, as was Charles Woodson and Ryan Grant, the starting running back. Out of the backfield. Making the reception was Quinn Johnson, brought down by Demario Williams. Pickup of 7. 2nd and 3. Flynn out of the shotgun takes this snap. Abner, the tight end, with some room into Kansas City territory. Ball comes free. It's covered by the Chiefs, but they rule Spencer Havner down at the 48 as Donald Washington made the stop after the pickup of 14.
And the Packers have picked up on an area in the coverage where they've had some success in the middle of the field. They're doing a good job on the outside. I think our corners are playing pretty well tonight, keeping the outside receivers locked down. But where they've found some gaps in this Chiefs defense is in the middle of the field.
We have reached the 2-minute warning here in the first half in Kansas City. Chiefs lead it 14-0. Final 2 minutes of the first half. This HD telecast of the Chiefs game is brought to you by Time Warner Cable, the official video provider of the Kansas City Chiefs. Flynn throws underneath, ball deflected. Ricky Price coming up, almost had an interception for Kansas City, and there's a flag on the play.
Offense number 74, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Your left tackle is going to get called for it here. Good job. The Chiefs only rushed 4 guys and they're able to get pressure. Good job by Belcher getting through. That's where the hold is called. He's able to get his hand in the face of Matt Flynn and get a tip on that pass.
Marshall Newhouse out of TCU. First and 20 for Green Bay. Flynn. Incomplete. Intended for Dillon. Jackie Bates on the coverage for Kansas City.
Green Bay has recognized that that's where the soft spot in the Chiefs secondary, or the passing game, has been so far up to this point. So they tried coming back to it. Nice play by Bates, coming up and breaking that play up, driving on the ball, knocking it out of the receiver's hands.
Chiefs with 1 interception so far in the preseason. Got a couple of opportunities where they got close to balls this evening so far in the first half. Out pattern. Swain makes this reception as Morgan makes the stop. DeJuan Morgan out of North Carolina State makes the stop for Kansas City. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short for Green Bay as Swain is shaken up. Helped off the field across the way.
The Chiefs spring pressure. They brought Javier Arenas off the slot, leaving a lot of one-on-one matchups. Good job by Flynn getting it out of his hands. Nice job by, even better job by Morgan making the tackle.
Flynn hit as he throws. Reception for Patrick Williams for Green Bay. Brought down at the Kansas City 20-yard line by DeJuan Morgan. Patrick Williams out of Colorado makes the reception.
Nice catch. Good job by the receiver getting behind Morgan. As a quarterback, that's what you're looking. You're looking for your one-on-one matchups, and when you have a short route with a deep route behind it, you're going to take a chance up the field with that one-on-one, especially with a bigger receiver.
False start as this play is stopped after the pickup of 29 by Patrick Williams. Ed Hockley and Mark Hidner go over to talk to Mike McCarthy across the way.
False start, offense number 11. Under a minute, that requires a 10-second runoff. Please reset the clock to 41 seconds. Green Bay has elected not to take a timeout. That would have avoided the runoff.
So the runoff takes it to 41. Chaston West with the false start, rookie wide receiver from Fresno State.
And going back to that last play where they're able to get the deep ball on the corner route, a lot of times when you get man-to-man coverage, you have a stacked, or you have a route where it's a combination route where you have a high and a low receiver. A lot of times in zone, you end up hitting that underneath guy unless your deep guy can get into the window. When you have man-to-man, you're going to look up the field more to try and take advantage of those one-on-one matchups.
So it's 1st and 15. Flynn moving to his right, throws it underneath. Kuhn with the reception. Jackie Bates on the coverage.
Nice coverage by the Chiefs down the field. They're forcing Flynn. They're only rushing 4, dropping 7 into coverage at this point in time on the field. With under a minute to go in the half, with 30 seconds to go in the half, they're keeping things in front of them. They're trying to force Flynn to try and make a throw up the field to where they can get an interception before the half.
Pickup of 2 brings up a 2nd and 13. Havner shifts, lines up to the right side of the formation. Flynn throws, incomplete as it sails over the head of West. Coverage by Jackie Bates. Brings up a 3rd and 13 with 25 ticks left in the first half.
Once again, the Chiefs only rushed 4 defenders on the defensive line, dropping 7 into coverage. Nice job by Gilberry working through his block to put pressure in Matt Flynn's face, forcing him to throw that ball high.
Green Bay is 3 of 8 on 3rd down tonight. 3rd and 13 from the Kansas City 23. Kuhn offset to the left of Flynn. Pressure, steps up, throws over the middle, incomplete. Behind the intended target, Patrick Williams. Belcher with pressure. Much to the delight of those 2 Chiefs fans.
You see Belcher down at the bottom of your screen. The running back tries putting a chip on him as he's going out into the flat. Doesn't quite get it done. Actually just chips him off with a tackle and gives Belcher the lane to go in and make the hit on Flynn.
Mason Crosby comes on for a field goal attempt. 41-yarder. Kick is plenty long, and it's accurate as well. 16 seconds to play in the first half. Mason Crosby puts Green Bay on the board right before the end of the first half.
We talked earlier about Demario Williams being asked to put his hand on the ground. With Tamba Hali not playing tonight, Demario Williams is going to get a chance on 3rd down to put his hand in the dirt and rush off the edge. The same thing goes for number 97, Pierre Walters. He was one of the other guys they were talking about. Hey, let's get their hand in the ground and see if they can be that 3rd down rusher. See if there's someone that we can use inside and outside to put pressure on the quarterback.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the National Football League or the Kansas City Chiefs is prohibited. Green Bay on the board thanks to Mason Crosby. Arenas and McCluster in tandem back deep for Kansas City. And this is interesting because we've already in the preseason, Trent, started to see teams kick away from Javier Arenas. So now you tag team it with McCluster.
Right. Make it difficult for him to pick. But that shows you the level of respect he's already gained in the preseason, is that teams are working on other aspects of their kicking game.
Crosby squibs it off of O'Connell up front, picked up by McCluster. Dexter at the 20. Across the 25 out to the 27-yard line with 10 seconds to go as Andrew Corliss makes the stop. A backup tight end for Green Bay. So the Packers get on the board. 40-yard field goal by Crosby. They go 60 yards in 10 plays in 3:30.
10 seconds left in the half. Look for the Chiefs to either run a draw. You think about last week's game right before the end of the half. They did a couple of draw plays to see if they could break it. They've got 3 timeouts left. Looks like they're just going to take a knee.
Brody Croyle takes the knee, and the first half comes to a close. Todd Haley's Kansas City Chiefs, for the first time in the preseason, head to the locker room at the half with the lead. The defense has delivered, as has the offense. The Chiefs lead it 14-3 after the first 30 minutes at Arrowhead. Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The Chiefs with a 14-3 lead as we get set for the start of the second half with Trent Green. I'm Mike Kelly, and welcome to our broadcast booth as we welcome in Chiefs Chairman Clark Hunt. Great to see you again this week.
Thank you.
Great job dialing up the weather, too.
Yeah, it turned out to be a very nice evening after a little bit of rain earlier.
There's a lot of enthusiasm surrounding this football team, particularly during the offseason. There was a lot of excitement. I can remember draft night when Eric Berry was announced to the crowd over across the way, just the level of excitement that that pick was greeted with. From your perspective, what excites you most as we move towards the start of the season here in just a couple of weeks as McCluster takes the second half kickoff out beyond the 30-yard line?
Well, I think it's the way the guys are playing together as a team. Whether it's the young guys who we drafted this year, many of whom continue to show up throughout the preseason, or some of the free agents like Thomas Jones, who we brought in, who are great leaders and helping the team to come together. It's really fun to watch the guys progress here through the preseason.
And, of course, as we talked about a week ago with you, how can you not be excited about this facility?
Yeah, we're so thrilled with it, and it's been so gratifying the last couple of weeks to see our fans here enjoying Chiefs football and getting their first taste of the new Arrowhead.
Dexter McCluster, left sideline. Flag on the play as he's rolled down inside the right at the 40-yard line. Had a chance to unveil the sports lab a little earlier.
Yeah, we did this Monday. It was the last part of the stadium that we dedicated, the last space to open. It's a unique space in the National Football League. It's the first of its kind, an in-stadium space dedicated to teaching children about nutrition and physical fitness. Ties in with the NFL's Play 60 program, and we think it's an area that children are going to enjoy on game day, and we hope throughout the year we'll be able to bring field trips in to see it as well.
We thought we'd get him down there and have him beat up on a couple of the Raider items that are down there.
The Whacker Raider?
Whacker Raider, indeed.
Right. Whacker Raider.
The kids will have a blast with that. But what a great idea. You bring students from around the city, around this community, to come in and be a part of the sports lab, but also it showcases the stadium, showcases the things that you have going on here.
Out of the Wildcat, McCluster picks up a first down across the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was designed consistent with both the educational standards in Missouri and Kansas, and we think it's a fun way for kids to come in and learn about nutrition and physical fitness.
Chiefs chairman Clark Hunt is with us here in the broadcast booth. Early third quarter action. Chiefs enjoying a 14-3 advantage, and after the first down on the run by McCluster, they have it at the 46-yard line. Red Friday just around the corner. The Back to Football Bash as well. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sure is. We thought we'd use it as an opportunity to bring it to the stadium.
Jeremy Horn trying to gain some yardage as he reverses field. Bellied all the way back inside the 30 and then brought down at the 33-yard line.
Anyhow, we wanted to bring the celebration to the stadium this year with the unveiling of the new Arrowhead. We thought it was a great chance for our fans to come out, be able to enjoy a pep rally, get everyone ready for the upcoming football season, get them ready for our Monday night game, have a chance to interact with the players and coaches.
Well, speaking of the Monday night game, Tammy Fruits and obviously Mark Donovan, Rob Albarino, everybody in charge of trying to orchestrate the pregame part of that and making sure that fans enjoy the experience. They have come up with what's going to be a great plan. Just have to get people in the seats early, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We think it's going to be a very fun day. We've got the Royals game earlier in the afternoon. We think there'll be a lot of fans who come out for the Royals game earlier, stay in tailgate, and then come over to Arrowhead to celebrate the opening of Arrowhead in the context of the regular season. The kickoff on Monday night. We're so excited as an organization. We think it'll be a great night for Kansas City.
And I just think some of the things that you have planned for people to get into the stadium earlier, obviously with the Royals and the Chiefs partnering up that day with the games back-to-back, some of the things prior to the game starting, now that you've had a chance to look over it and approve all those things that are going to happen, should the fans be in here? We've talked about them being in here a half hour early so they can be a part of the pregame festivities. Can you give us a little insight into what's going on there, or just we're going to leave that teaser hanging out?
He's went from quarterback to reporter if you haven't been able to pick up on that.
Yeah, I think we want to leave it as a teaser, but we think it'll be a lot of fun for our fans to come out, be here early. I would liken it in a small way to the Super Bowl, and it's always important to get to your seat early for the Super Bowl. We'll have some fun things, and I think it'll be an evening that all Chiefs fans will want to be part of.
Well, I know what they've expressed to us is it is important to be in your seat. Although you'll be able to enjoy some of it from outside and you're tailgating and around the stadium, but they're saying there's so much that's going to be going on inside the stadium prior to kickoff that they want people in their seat to be able to enjoy the full experience.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Our Chiefs fans are so used to tailgating and rushing in at the last minute to see the game, but this will be an evening where you want to get in the building early.
Clark, great to see you. We appreciate you stopping by.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Chiefs chairman Clark Hunt back to Arrowhead. Kansas City leading by the score of 14-3 in the third quarter. (14-3). The Chiefs lead Green Bay here on the Chiefs Television Network. Time now to take a look at the Toyota halftime stats. The Hot Choice sales event only happens once a year, so now is definitely the best time to get into a new Toyota. But hurry, the Toyota Hot Choice sales event ends September 7th. Green Bay has it. Matt Flynn trying to rifle it outside to Patrick Williams. Incomplete.
And people may wonder what that throw is. That's happened several times tonight for the Packers. There's a lot of times that offense is what they're doing now. If you get corners that are playing soft, corners that are playing off, they will call a run play, but with that run play, they'll tag a quick throw. So if the quarterback comes up and he sees that he has a gimme to the wide receiver for 4, 5, 6, maybe more yards, they'll go ahead and take that throw. So that's why you've seen Matt Flynn do that a few times tonight.
2nd and 10. Flynn with the play action fake. Throws middle of the field. Swain wide open in midfield. Donald Washington trying to track him down. Swain inside the 10-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Washington at the Kansas City 5. .63 on the play.
You see Bates and you see Langford, both of them bite up on the play. And that's what the Packers, that is something that the coaching staff of the Packers must have seen up in the box, that they were being overly aggressive at the safety position, at the corner position. So what you do is you try giving a hard play fake, you tell your lineman to give a hard play fake, and you sneak that receiver behind.
1st and goal from the 5. Lumpkin runs right. And movement, I think, whistles this dead before Lumpkin crosses the goal line.
Before the snap and before the flag was called, timeout, Green Bay. That's their first of the half.
.11:31 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Chiefs leading 14-3. Chiefs lead at 14-3, but the Packers knocking on the door. This HD telecast of the Chiefs game brought to you by Time Warner Cable, the official video provider of the Kansas City Chiefs. Lumpkin running left side. Cannot get in. Langford on the stop with support from Alex McGee.
Well, that aggressiveness that Langford showed earlier when the Packers were able to get behind him on the pass play came in handy on the goal line, where he came up and was able to stop him from getting into the end zone.
Service master catastrophe brings us the 3rd quarter replays. 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Backfield in the eye. Corliss, the tight end, lined up wing right. Lumpkin dives. Does not break the plane. Kansas City says they have the football in the end zone. Take another peek at it.
Whether or not that ball's coming out before he hits the ground, you got to decide who's going to challenge it. The Chiefs challenge it thinking it's a fumble, but it could end up biting them by it appears that the ball crosses the line. You can see right there if it's in his arm. All it has to do is touch that white line. So here comes the red flag right now from McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy all the way down to the 9-yard line. Tosses the flag and wants a replay.
Green Bay is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner did not score.
So they will challenge the call. Ed Hockley signals a timeout with 10 minutes and 18 seconds to play. 14-3 at the moment in favor of Kansas City. Play is under review. Did Craig Lumpkin break the plane of the end zone with the football before it came free? Ed Hockley comes out from underneath the hood, and we'll let everyone know of his conclusion.
The runner, number 28, had the ball in his arm. I'm sorry, one moment.
Well, he wants to make sure. That being the attorney that he is.
That was Yeah, you know what? People are wondering what happened. He's got an earpiece in, and I'm sure somebody told him to head over, or somebody waved him over. Maybe the official by the review booth over there waved him over.
The runner had
One
the
more
ball
time.
in his arm when it crossed and broke the plane. It didn't come loose until it hit the ground, but it had already broke the plane of the goal line, resulting in a touchdown. The clock should
That's what
read
Mike McCarthy thought, the
10:52.
former Baker University star.
You can see the ball's not coming loose right there. When it breaks the plane, it doesn't start falling out of his arm until it gets near the ground. As much as we don't like it, it was a good call by the official.
So it completes an 82-yard drive. 77 on the pass play from Matt Flynn to Brett Swain, and Mason Crosby comes on for the point after. Out of the hold of Chris Bryan. High snap, good place. Crosby splits the uprights. 10:52 to play in the third quarter. Kansas City leads 14-10 on the Chiefs to receive this kick. 14-10 in favor of the Chiefs as some of the fans on hand here at Arrowhead continue to enjoy themselves on an absolutely delightful night weather-wise.
They're really enjoying themselves. It's a great night for football. I think when everybody was driving to the stadium tonight with all the rain we had, there was some skepticism about what it was going to be like sitting in the stands. But other than those people we showed at the opening that were getting dumped on while watching pregame, things cleared up right before kickoff. It's been a great night for football. A lot of people are here and supporting the hometown Chiefs, with the exception of that cheesehead we just had on.
Yeah. Let her in. The kickoff from Mastay. Bobbled by Williams, comes out of the end zone to the 10, angles left sideline to the 15, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 18 by Simpkins. So Brody Croyle, who needs some work after missing 2 preseason games, will stay in at quarterback for Kansas City.
And what you have there in the end zone is you have 2 young guys trying to make an impression on the coaches. Probably the smart thing would have been to take a knee, get it out to the 20, but they were both fighting for the ball, wanted to make that impression. Can't argue with that. They want to make an impact, and it's their last chance to do it prior to the final cut down.
Jackie Battle on the toss sweep. Brought down by Wynn. He loses a yard on the play. Of course, Saturday, the big day around the NFL. And teams have to get to 53. Battle stays in, lone setback. Play action, fake pressure. Croyle slings it out towards the right sideline as he's dragged down by a defender, Alex Joseph.
I think it's important for the Chiefs to not lose some momentum. They've done such a good job running the ball up until this point. They've done a good job with the passing game. The offensive line has played extremely well. Barry Richardson's still in the game. You've got Asamoah in the game. Rudy Neiswanger is in the game, who's battling for a starting job with Casey Wigman. So there's some guys. Colin Brown's in the game. I mean, so these are guys that are looking to make this team, and Brody Croyle being still in the game. They need to get protection. They need to keep the run game going this second half. They got to continue with the progress they made in the first half.
Draw play, Castile can't find any running room. As he's stopped at the 15, it'll be a 3 and out, and Dustin Colquitt will come on to punt for the second time tonight. Spencer Havner in on the play defensively.
Todd Haley's not going to be happy with that drive. After the defense was on the field for a long time, resulting in Green Bay scoring a touchdown, they needed some help from the offensive side of the ball to use up some time, use up some clock, some time of possession, give your defense a chance to rest and regather to go out and have a 3-and-out. Todd Haley's not going to be happy with that series at all.
He'll be happy with the punt by Colquitt, though. Backs up Cherry inside the 25. Eludes one man, but Pierre Walters drags him down at the 33. 14-10, Kansas City. Having some fun in Kansas City. Casey Wolf teasing the fans here at Arrowhead Stadium. Sack of the game is brought to you by Price Chopper.
Once again, DeMario Williams coming off the edge. They wanted to experiment with him putting his hand in the dirt. He comes right around the left side, able to sack Matt Flynn for the Price Chopper sack of the game.
Screenplay. Lumpkin's got it running right side. Gets his seam, puts the shoulder down in midfield, and then gang tackle there. Langford there, pick up on the play of 16. You made reference several times to putting a hand in the dirt. It's called a sub-rush situation. Explain that, though, for the fans.
Well, I think what the Chiefs are trying to find out is DeMario's an inside linebacker. They want to find out if on third down, if in obvious rush down situations, if he's a guy they can move to the outside, put his hand on the ground like a defensive end, and beat the tackle coming around the edge, which he helped himself tonight being able to do that.
Upgrade the speed coming off the edge as Lumpkin picks up a yard. Pierre Walters out of Eastern Illinois. There's DeMario Williams.
And where that also comes into play is on game day. We're talking about cutdowns happening here in a couple days, and when you not only get down to your 53, you also, the NFL has a rule where you can only have 46 active on game day, and you want to find guys that are as versatile as possible that can play a number of different positions. And DeMario continues to improve and continues to show that week in and week out.
Play action fake. Flynn with time. DP. Reception made at the 27-yard line by Charles Dillon. Ricky Price on the coverage.
The Packers are obviously trying to get Matt Flynn some work, get him a lot of reps. That's been a soft spot in the Chiefs secondary, the Chiefs defense, that Green Bay was able to find out late in the first half, and in the third quarter they continue to attack. You can see the underneath receiver to grab that underneath, grab the underneath coverage to open up that second window in the secondary.
Lumpkin picks up a couple. David Herron on the stop. Joe Philbin, the offensive coordinator for Green Bay. Flynn 20 of 30, 264 tonight for the guy who helped lead LSU to a national championship a few years ago. Throws left sideline into the end zone. Dillon cannot make the reception. Price there along with Bates.
Well, I think Matt Flynn has shown if you give him time in the pocket and a chance to step in and make throws, he's going to be an accurate quarterback, and he's someone that could put the ball in certain spots and put the ball where receivers can have success. Where the Chiefs have had success is when they're able to put pressure on him. Either knock the ball, knock him down to the ground, but when they give him time in the pocket, he's proven to be accurate.
It's a great play defensively by Ricky Price. Brings up a third down and 8. Flynn throws in the flat. Coming back was Williams to make the reception. Close to the first down marker. Daniels on the coverage. They're going to mark him shy of the first down.
And I'm going to say Matt Flynn maybe have gotten a little lucky on this one. I think he's throwing to the outside receiver. There's two guys in the same area, so it's a toss-up which one he's going to, but somebody ran a wrong route. You normally don't have two guys stacked together like that.
Jason Cherry also in the area. Williams makes the reception. 4th and 2, though, with 6 minutes to play in the third. Flynn looking left, back right, throws it. Incomplete, intended for West. Jackie Bates on the coverage, and Kansas City takes over on downs. Good job defensively by Romeo Crennel's unit there.
Once again, we talked about affecting Matt Flynn's accuracy by putting pressure on. Watch Alex McGee coming through the middle. crushing Matt Flynn to the ground. And when you go to the secondary side of things, nice play by Jackie Bates, reaching his hand in there, ripping the arms apart, and knocking the ball out of there.
You saw that Greenwood guy also was close to getting to Matt Flynn. Green Bay shows blitz, then backs off. Croyle with play action. Steps up, throws, sideline. Caught by Tucker. Brand Tucker with the reception, his first of the evening.
And people may want to understand, or I guess find out what it was that Brody Croyle was doing at the line so long. He was pointing out the corner blitz. What the Chiefs do in their protection schemes is they call out the different numbers. It's very similar to what they did in New England when Charlie was in New England, and what they still do in New England. You continually see Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, those guys. A lot of offenses now are declaring who you're turning your protection to. So when you see a corner blitz coming, you can turn that protection all the way back to him to make sure it's picked up.
Pickup of 6. Williams runs right, hit at the line of scrimmage. Gets back to the 26. Francois on the stop for Green Bay.
We talked about momentum. We talked about momentum and how it switches back and forth at the end of the half. We talked about how the Chiefs had a 4th down on the 5 and drove all the way down. Jackie Battle had a big carry to get him down there and eventually put him in the end zone. Here's another momentum swing, a chance for a momentum swing. The Packers have things going. We stop them on 4th down. Now the offense has a chance to convert a 3rd down and keep the defense on the sidelines.
3rd and 4. Chiefs are 3 of 8 tonight on 3rd down. Croyle fires. He's got O'Connell, the tight end. First down to the 33 is Jake O'Connell with his first reception of the preseason.
Nice stop by Brody. You can see he flinches, gets the guy in the air, and is able to find that lane. If he throws that ball on time, the ball is probably going to be batted up in the air. Good job by Brody finding that crease. Nice job by O'Connell sitting down in that hole.
Williams cuts it back. Positive yardage out to the 38-yard line. Spencer Havner playing both ways tonight. A tight end and linebacker. Where's number 41 for Green Bay? Croyle underneath. Tucker with his second reception of the drive. First down with a nifty move out to the 45. Francois on the stop.
Good protection by the Chiefs offensive line. Nice job by the backs coming over, picking up the linebacker pressure. Brody having patience in the pocket, making his read, taking the safe throw underneath. Nice job by Tucker avoiding the defense and picking up another first down.
Castile out of the backfield, left sideline to the 35, angles back towards the middle. Running room inside the 20. Pushed out of bounds near sideline. At the 12. Derek Martin on the stop, but how about this play by Tim Castile?
We talked about Tucker on the last play. He gets a good block. May have been a trip block, but he knocks the guy down, giving Castile a chance to cut up field and pick up some big yardage. Get the Chiefs down to the red zone and get that momentum swing continuing in the Chiefs' favor.
42 on the play. Croyle throws in the flat low, caught by O'Connell at the 10. Francois on the stop. You talked about that 3rd down conversion, about a momentum play. The Chiefs then capitalize. They get the big play with Castile out of the backfield.
It's such a big part of understanding game management, understanding as a team effort, because you're giving your defense a chance to rest. Obviously, you're trying to get points, but you're also trying to help your defense because they've been on the field a long time in this second half.
Williams picks up a couple. Francois on the stop. Banks comes in, Horn comes in, Gunnell comes in. Cox, Tucker, and Lawrence off for Kansas City. 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs. From the Green Bay 8. Todd Haley's team leading 14-10. Late in the 3rd quarter here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Croyle 3-step drop. Floats it into the end zone for Horn. Can't make the reception. Contact with the defender, Jared Bush. Those fans wanted interference.
A lot of people moaning and groaning for a pass interference call in the stands. But I think you'll see both guys are doing a little bit of pushing and shoving, so it would have been hard for the official to pick which one he was going to throw the flag on. You just go with incidental there, and each were doing it.
26-yard attempt by Ryan Suckup. Good snap, good place. Kick is up, and it splits the uprights. And the Chiefs extend the advantage late in the third. 17-10 in favor of Kansas City as the cheerleaders are dancing here at Arrowhead.
It makes it even all the more important, the defensive stop on 4th down. Green Bay electing not to go for the field goal attempt, instead to try and go for the first down. The Chiefs in turn pick up that big first down on 3rd down, get the drive going, get down into position now with a touchdown lead, as opposed to it only being a 4-point lead.
I think the point is worth making that this is a Chiefs team that, as we've watched it play these 4 preseason games, we've seen progress on both sides of the football.
I think we really have. You look at the if people want to talk about the record, they have to understand in the preseason the record isn't always the important thing. It's about the progress of the team, and those are some of the things we talked with Todd Haley and Scott Pioli about, was just the progress. They're continually working to get the right 53, what guys you want to mold for your roster, so when you come down to final cuts on Saturday, you're putting a group of guys together that you're confident in that are going to give you the best chance for success on Monday night against San Diego.
And big picture, building the foundation in year 2 of the regime. It takes time.
It does. It takes time. And Todd talked about some of those tough decisions they had to make a year ago, trying to put them in position not only for success this year, but success next year and on down the road as they build this program.
But you find success, too, by sticking to the plan, do you not?
You do. You do. And I think that's why there was so much criticism made when he made the change with Chan Gailey and he took over play calling a year ago during the preseason. But now you see some of that coming together. You see the continuity of the offense. You see the understanding. You see the comfort level Matt Castle's having in the pocket because he's so much more aware. Now, you had to go through the growing pains of last season, but I think you see some of that starting to pay off, at least tonight.
Mike Richardson and Jeremy Horn on special teams. Sonic scoring summary. A 26-yard field goal by Ryan Suckup as the Chiefs go 73 yards in 10 plays in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. They lead it 17-10 with 1:26 to play here in the third quarter. Flynn pumps, fires right sideline, and he overthrows Williams with Bates and Washington on the coverage. Jackie Bates and the Chiefs defense. As the crowd makes some noise. 2nd and 10 for Flynn, who's played the entire game at quarterback for Green Bay. Looking left, out pattern. Caught by Williams on the sideline. Found a little seam in the zone, did he not?
And when you're going against a cover 2 scheme, when you have a safety over the top and a corner rolling, a lot of the times you find that hole over on the sideline. He's able to get by Pope onto the outside. He's got a window in between the safety and the corner. Nice job by the Packers. You see the out route underneath that holds the corner shallow in the coverage. Nice throw by Flynn, squeezing it between the two.
Pickup of 22. Lumpkin cuts it back towards the middle of the field. Tripped up. Flags rain in as he's brought down at the Kansas City 49 by Langford.
Holding, offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Evan Dietrich Smith can't believe that he's been whistled for holding here in this game. It's a hold or a mug. However you want to describe it.
When you get them up around the throat, that tends to draw the attention of the officials. But for the most part, this has been a pretty clean played game. There haven't been a lot of flags tonight.
Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. 1st and 20. Flynn looking left, back right. Now flushed in the pocket. Dropped as Deion Gales makes the stop for Kansas City. Second-year pro out of Troy.
Nice job in the Chiefs with coverage down the field. See Matt Flynn looks left, looks right. There's nowhere to go with the ball. He's going to learn you either better get to your check down or throw that ball away, because that pocket's going to be collapsing quick.
We have played 3 quarters in Kansas City. Todd Haley's Kansas City Chiefs enjoy a 17-10 advantage on the Chiefs television network.
And welcome back to Arrowhead as the Chiefs have a 17-10 lead as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. We're going to take a look at the third quarter stats brought to you by Garmin. We talked about Matt Flynn and how he's doing in the passing game. On the other side of things, look at the way the Chiefs are running the ball. 148 yards rushing, and this is against the Packers defense that led the NFL in rush defense a year ago.
Kathy, can you start handing those reads to Trent? Flynn throws over the middle. Reception made at the 41 by Corliss, the backup tight end. Kathy, our stage manager. Justin Cole on the coverage for Kansas City. Early in the fourth. 17-10, the Chiefs have the lead.
It's early in the fourth quarter, but we talked about momentum. Here the Chiefs defense have the Packers in a long third down. To keep momentum going their way, this would be a big stop for them.
Flynn has broken the 300-yard barrier passing tonight. Steps up, throws over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Charles Dillon. Matt Flynn yanks off the chin strap. Kansas Speedway brings us the fourth quarter replays.
Nice job by the Chiefs defense. The front four gets pressure, makes him move in the pocket. He doesn't necessarily have his feet set. He's not able to make an accurate throw. It floats on him a little bit. Would have been nice to see one of the secondary guys break on it, get an interception, but good third down stop to get the ball back for the Chiefs offense and keep momentum going their way.
Gunnell back deep. Mastey's kick. Coming up, Gunnell takes it at the 18. Gets to the 25, brought down at the 26-yard line by Craig Lumpkin. 14-10 to play. Kansas City leads 17-10. Early fourth quarter. Kansas City leads 17-10. Time now for the Pizza Hut delivery of the game.
Matt Castle early on in the game in the first quarter hits Dwayne Bowe on the crossing route. He's able to convert a short throw into a large gain. Set up the first score of the game for the Chiefs.
Rolling right. Sliding grab. O'Connell. Alex Joseph on the coverage. Jake O'Connell. Third year out of Miami of Ohio. 6'3", 250-pound tight end. As you take a look at Matt Castle. Backfield in the offset eye. Battle comes in, or Castile comes in motion. Williams takes the handoff. Good surge defensively by Green Bay. Will stop him for no gain. Simpkins on the stop. Brody Croyle tonight, 9 of 13, 113 yards.
Well, I don't think there's ever been any real question about the talent that Brody Croyle brings, and it's nice to have that type of depth behind Matt Castle. Brody, just like what happened in the preseason, his biggest challenge has been able to stay healthy. He's had a couple injuries since he's been here. It's nice to see him getting healthy, having an opportunity to play, and having quite a bit of success.
No one questions the arm strength, do they? So he slings it right side, incomplete, intended for Gunnell. Pat Lee.
I think Pat Lee looked over his shoulder to make sure the flag wasn't thrown, and then he started talking trash to the Chiefs sidelines. But definitely Gunnell was thinking he was getting held, and they both kind of moved their head around looking for the flag. It's always interesting when the jawing starts after the flag has not been thrown.
Tucker on a crossing pattern. Tackled quickly by Alex Joseph. And the Chiefs will be forced to punt the football. So Dustin Colquitt, who unloaded on his last one, it was 62 yards. Comes on, Cherry back deep. Low snap from Thomas Gafford. Colquitt hits it. Hit afterwards. No flag. Cherry tackled at the 36-yard line. And Dustin Colquitt a little slow getting up. 12:03 to play. 17-10. Kansas City leads it. Just over 12 minutes to play here at Arrowhead Stadium. Hey, be sure to watch the Price Chopper Game Day Show Sundays at 10 a.m. for the Price Chopper Trivia Contest, where you can win a $25 Price Chopper gift card. You can go to KCTV5.com for all the details. Trent Green enjoying the music of
the runner was down
the
by
Black Eyed
contact.
Peas.
Note that there will not be a reversal unless there was a clear recovery by Kansas City.
Step up
if
here.
There was a fumble.
At least you're saying I'm not dancing. That's all right.
I wasn't going to go there. At Hockley. Going to take a quick look. The end of the punt. Cherry has the ball come free. Mike Cox dives in on top of it. Replay brought to you by the Kansas Speedway.
Well, I'm 50-50 for tonight, so I don't know what my guess is going to be. You can't tell. It looks like his knee may be down, but you can't tell exactly when the ball comes out. The thing you have to remember, and I think this took part in the first challenge tonight, was it has to be conclusive to overturn it. If it's not completely conclusive, there you see his knees down. You can see the ball is still in his grip. I'm going to say his knees down. I'm going to go, like I said, I'm 50-50 tonight, so I don't think there's enough to flip it. You're not going to say anything? You don't want to put a guess in there? You don't want to try?
I honestly was not paying attention to the replay. I was looking at something else, but I'm going with you. I always defer to you. You are the ex-quarterback, right, the aficionado when it comes to the replays. Mike McCarthy.
I have learned over the years, even it doesn't matter. I mean, there's times you can be on the sideline and you have a great angle of it, but if it doesn't show it on camera and they don't give you the replay, they're not going to overturn it because it's not conclusive. So
the ruling on the field stands as called. It is Green Bay's ball, first down. Kansas City is charged with a timeout.
Well, unfortunately for the Chiefs, I'm up to 66%.
First and 10 for Green Bay. Graham Harrell, who put up huge numbers running that spread attack at Texas Tech, takes over. Play action. Steps up, throws. Lumpkin out of the backfield. Can't hang on to the ball. Ron Morgan on the coverage for Kansas City. Penalty on the play as well. Harrell 8 of 13. Jackie Bates whistled for the illegal contact, heralding an 8 of 13 in the preseason for 98 yards. First and 5 from the 41. Lumpkin hit by Morgan at the 44.
And I think this may be the time to break out the violin music, and I'm gonna reflect a little bit on some of my prior experiences and just explain to the people how important the fourth quarter of the fourth preseason game is. Early in my career as a third-team quarterback, this was a chance to make an impression on the coaching staff. You're trying to make a roster, you're trying to make an impression on the coaching staff, and this was really the only time I would get a chance to play. And fortunately for me, Norv Turner, when I was with the Redskins, gave me that opportunity in the fourth quarter. I was able to convert it for some points and open some eyes and keep me around on the roster and eventually become a starter in this league. So even though there's a lot of guys fighting for roster spots, Graham Harrell's one of those guys who just had a big completion there. These guys are really trying to make an impact, not only on their own coaching staff, but coaching staffs and personnel people around the league.
Sure, because everybody gets a chance to see every game that's played in the preseason. What happens though to those guys if the preseason goes to 2? How do those guys get the exposure, or perhaps even the opportunity to make a roster? That's something that hasn't really been addressed, is how do the coaches handle that?
Right, how are you able to evaluate someone just in a matter of OTAs, mini camps, training camp, and there's only 2 games? They've talked about if they go to 18 games, that they're going to shorten the OTAs, they're going to shorten the mini camps in the offseason because players are complaining, the Players Association is complaining about the wear and tear on players' bodies. So they're going to shorten that time period. So the evaluation process is going to be harder. What helps those guys, though, is they're talking of increasing the roster from 53 to 60 and then also having a practice squad on top of that. So that would be where you take a chance on some guys to get a better evaluation of them. Because you're right, that evaluation period is going to shrink if that happens.
Cherry with the reception in front of Jackie Bates. Last week when we had a chance to visit with Todd Haley, I posed that question to him. He said, you know, I really haven't had a lot of time to think about it, but off the top of his head, one of the things he was thinking about is maybe this requires us to bring in opposing teams during the preseason to scrimmage more if you only have the 2 games.
Because you not only get a chance to evaluate your players, you get the chance to evaluate the players on the other team. Your scouting department does, and your main personnel evaluating.
Play action, rolling back left. Harrell underneath. Corliss the tight end with the reception. Picks up the first down, brought down inside the 35-yard line by Ricky Price.
And the other thing is, and the NFL doesn't necessarily want to talk about it, but you have all these other leagues that are coming into play. The UFL was in effect last year. They're going to have another season this year. There's rumor of a couple of more upstart leagues that may or may not happen. There may be more guys going to play in those leagues that almost become a minor league system for the NFL, for guys to go and get playing time, get exposure, get experience.
Graham Harrell first and 10 from the Kansas City 33. Slant pattern. Cherry on the receiving end. Spins away from one tackler, but can't fight his way out of the grasp of Kansas City's Ricky Price.
It looks as if the Chiefs have gone to a lot of cover 2 here in the second half, where they have 2 deep safety, rolled corners. Linebackers have to get depth in the middle of the field. There, Cherry just does a hard outside release. He gets jammed by the corner, but he releases inside, where that's where the window is in the cover 2 if your linebackers or safeties don't expand to close that hole.
Harrell under center on a first and 10. Lumpkin running left. Into the secondary, hurdles a man. First down to the 11-yard line. Dewan Morgan on the stop.
You'll see Ricky Price come up from his safety position, and if he keeps his head up, he has a chance to see it, but he drops his head and readies himself for the collision. Good job by Lumpkin getting over the top of that. It's a dangerous play jumping up in the air like that, because you can, tendency when you get hit up in the air, you could fumble the ball.
But I have a feeling we might see that play a couple of times. Kuhn, the fullback. Brought down by David Herron.
You'll see Travis Daniels coming in from the corner position. He's got a corner blitz and is able to slow the running back down, allowing the other guys to rally and make the tackle. You can see Romeo not exactly happy with the way some of those softer coverages, the cover 2 and the cover 8, where you drop 4 guys deep into secondary. He decided to get a little bit more aggressive.
2nd and 10, just over 7 minutes to play. Harrell looks right. Misfires to Corliss, the tight end. Through a wide right.
Now I have to believe somewhere there was a coverage breakdown. You can see the defender going inside. The Chiefs only rushed 3 and dropped 8 into coverage. There can't be that big of a hole on the outside. It was just a matter of somebody getting lost. Fortunately for the Chiefs, the receiver slipped.
3rd down, 6:58 to play. Packers 4 of 12 tonight. They trail 17-10. 3rd and 10 from the 11. Graham Harrell pumps. Lumpkin with a lineman and Justin Cole hanging all over him, brings him down. Newhouse, the offensive lineman, in the way there, Trent.
The Chiefs have played a little bit of bend but don't break defense tonight. You remember a couple series ago they were able to get the big stop on 4th down. Here they're able, once the Packers get 1st down inside the red zone, they make a move backwards, force them to kick a field goal.
Crosby with a 36-yard attempt. Out of the hold of Bryant. And a flag for a false start against Green Bay.
Before the ball was snapped, false start offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
The guilty party.
I like what Romeo Crennel has done so far tonight in the red zone. He's done a good job of mixing things up. He's brought pressure at times. A lot of the times he's rushed 3 and dropped 8, forcing the Packers to show patience and find those windows. But he's also come to situations where he's rushed 6 and left everybody in man coverage.
So a 41-yard attempt. Crosby with plenty of leg. Green Bay cuts into the Kansas City lead. Chiefs lead at 17-13 with 6:12 to play on the Chiefs television network. 17-13. Kansas City leading Green Bay. Time now for the Taco Bell crunch of the game.
We'll go all the way back to the 1st quarter. Corey Greenwood's block set up Javier Arenas. Watch right here. Javier Arenas to get down the sideline and set the Chiefs up in great field position early in the 1st quarter.
It's one where the Packers player knew it was coming. That's Good, who was the deep snapper that knocked him out of the game. He knew it was coming, and there was nothing he could do. Jeremy Horn back deep for Kansas City. 6:12 to play as Casey Wolf continues to entertain the crowd here at Arrowhead Stadium.
How many bottles of water do you think Casey Wolf drinks during the course of a game? Dancing around in that big suit. Oh, onside kick.
Recovered by Green Bay at the 44-yard line. Francois recovered it. So Mason Crosby executes the onside kick perfectly.
We're talking about KC Wolf and his water intake, and here the Packers surprise us and the Chiefs and do a surprise onside kick and are able to recover it.
So Harrell and the Packers offense with good field position at the 44. Play action fake. Harrell throws it left sideline over the top. Flag on the play. Daniels on the coverage intended for Charles Dillon.
They're going to say this is an illegal contact past 5 yards down the field. What they have to determine, though, is was it a catchable ball? Graham Harrell threw that ball about 10 yards out of bounds. But I don't think that's a factor in the bump rule.
There was no foul for offensive pass interference because the ball was not catchable. However, there was illegal hands by the defense. Hands to the face, number 71. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
See, that's where you get into the gray area. The illegal bump happened past 5 yards down the field. The fact that the ball was in the air when the contact was made, that switches it over from an illegal bump to a pass interference. And it couldn't be pass interference, just like Ed Hockley said, because the ball was already in the air and it was an uncatchable ball. It's not pass interference. But how they're able to flip it from one to the other, I don't know how they can call 2 penalties on 1 flag.
Even you with that great vertical jump that you possessed at Vianney High School couldn't have got to that ball. Greenwood can't get to Harrell. He just throws it out of bounds. Russell, was the first Chiefs player to put pressure on him. Kansas Speedway brings you this highlight.
Nice pressure off the edge, causing Harrell to flush out of the pocket. Good awareness on Harrell's part to just put the ball out of bounds. Nowhere for him to go with the ball. Good coverage by the Chiefs down the field.
Less than 6 to play. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Harrell out of the shotgun. Dillon on the receiving end. Angles to the middle of the field. Picks up the first down to the Kansas City 37 before Ricky Price makes the stop. Pickup of 12.
We've talked throughout the preseason about matchups and how as an offense you want to find matchups. I know that we're mainly talking about the Chiefs finding those matchups, but when you have a wide receiver on a linebacker in the slot, nice job by Graham Harrell recognizing that, because that's definitely a mismatch.
Kuhn runs right to the Kansas City 31 before Corey Greenwood makes the stop. Kuhn out of tiny Shippensburg College. 2nd and 4. Runs left. First down. David Herron on the stop. Drags him down at the 23.
The Chiefs defense has been on the field for quite some time here in the second half. And that's opened up the running lanes for Green Bay. Green Bay really hasn't run the ball very effectively until these last few series where they've gotten things going on the ground. And some of that is due to just the wear and tear on the Chiefs defense. They've been on the field a lot the second half.
Todd Haley looking on. Graham Harrell slides under center. Corliss lines up wing to the right after the shift. Kuhn running left. Garrett Brown can't bring him down. Bounces off of him, but then the pursuit follows. To stop him at the 26, Ricky Price, the primary defender.
Nice job by the Chiefs defense to rally. They get the contact in the middle of the field. Ricky Price rallies and waits. He's outsized by quite a bit on that combination, but he holds him up long enough for the other defensive players to come in there and gang tackle him.
Derek Loki comes on defensively for Kansas City. 2nd and 8 from the Chiefs 21.
We talk about Romeo Crennel changing things up in the red zone. It looks like they made pressure here just to get out of their consistency.
Harrell being chased by Loki, unloads it just beyond the outstretched arms of the leaping Jackie Bates over on the far side.
And I like the fact that they haven't shown consistency when they've decided to pressure. There's times where they drop into coverage on 1st and 2nd down, wait to pressure on 3rd down. On this series, they didn't pressure on 1st down. They decided to bring pressure on 2nd. It'll be interesting to see what Romeo Crennel dials up here on 3rd down, because they've been very effective up to this point in the red zone, keeping the Packers out of the end zone.
Rack talking upstairs. He's called something defensively now on this 3rd down and 8. From the Chiefs 21 with just over 3 minutes to play. Incomplete as Crabtree, sporting a cast on his left hand, can't make the reception.
I want everybody to be aware when we put the replay up here. Well, if we had gotten it earlier, what I wanted you to recognize was the defense. When the Packers came up in their formation, they came up in an empty set. the Chiefs defenders, it almost looked as if Romeo Cornell had dialed up a pressure because the Chief defenders are all waving their hands, expanding their hands, telling everybody to drop into coverage. They only rushed 3 and they dropped 8 into coverage.
Tired Chiefs bench is up, trying to get the crowd involved. They rise to the occasion on 4th down. 0 for 2 tonight. Harrell running right, being chased, throws it underneath, incomplete for Kuhn. And with 3:06 to play, leading 17-13, Kansas City gets the ball back. The defense of the Chiefs with some pressure on Graham Harrell. They force an errant throw, and Kansas City has the football back. Dexter McCluster and the Kansas City Chiefs enjoying a 17-13 advantage with 3:06 to play, and this is the final exhibition game of the preseason. Roadrunner Speed is Power, sponsored by Time Warner Cable, the official video provider of the Kansas City Chiefs. And there's that guy out of Ole Miss, Trent.
When you continue to see him week in and week out utilize the speed, we touched on that in the open. Here on a 3rd and short, they fake the fullback belly, get the dish out to Dexter. He's able to get the corner and pick up the first down. It's going to be fun to watch him this year, to see how many different ways they utilize him, both passing, returning, running game. They're going to find a lot of different ways to get the ball in this guy's hands.
The interesting thing, too, about him is he rarely takes a direct hit because he is so quick and shifty with the feet. Battle trying to find a seam right, can't do so. It's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 17.
We talked last week about the Chiefs being able to utilize the 4-minute drill, being able to use up clock, get the ball on the ground, force the Packers to use their timeouts. They are going to get an extra timeout with the 2-minute warning. The Packers have 2 timeouts. If the Chiefs can find a way to pick up a first down, that's just understanding the game management of things. And just like a week ago, keeping the ball out of Philly's hands before that final drive, this would be an important. Although they lose some yards on first down, this would be important for them to pick up a first down.
Play clock is down to 5 as the Chiefs break the huddle quickly to the line of scrimmage with 2. Kansas City takes a timeout.
That's their second. It's a 30-second
So the Chiefs, as the play clock was about to expire, take a timeout with 2:17 to play here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Our play of the game. Player of the game brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Jackie Battle is our player of the game.
We tend to say his name over and over every week of the preseason. Putting together big runs, putting together big plays on special teams with a 50-yard run. Nice stiff arm that'll give him some of that Sports Center talk. He continually shows up every week. And once again, he's our Honda player of the game.
He has provided the 2 longest runs in the preseason, 21 yards in Tampa Bay, and then he went 50 on that run where he provided the stiff arm. After the timeout, Battle runs right to the 20. Green Bay is going to burn a timeout. So with 2:14 to play, reset it to 2:15. Set it Hockey League. Chiefs facing a 3rd and 11. The executive producer of tonight's game is Dale Jacobson. Our game was produced by Curtis Lorenz and directed by John Claybrook. Associate producers Kayla Manning and John Pope. Helping us in the booth, Kathy Nelson. We want to thank our entire Metro Sports crew, group of talented individuals that have served us well throughout the entire preseason. Don't know if we want to see that look again, though. Brody pressured, throws it complete to Gunnell. Clock runs as he's forced out of bounds over on the far side at the 24, and so Pat Lee defensively. Kansas City cannot pick up the first down, and we are at the 2-minute warning here at Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs with a 17-13 lead on the Chiefs television network. Dustin Colquitt on to punt. Cherry back deep. And movement on the line of scrimmage.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 18. 5-yard penalty.
Will make it
fourth down.
4th and 2. Patrick Williams guilty of violating the neutral zone.
Now we just need to give him to do it one more time. We'll take the first down any way we can get it, right?
Absolutely. Green Bay with 1 timeout left. 2 minutes to play. Chiefs leading 17-13. Colquitt hits it with the left foot, a high coverage spiral. Cherry calls for the fair catch and makes it at his 29. 51-yard punt by Dustin Colquitt. Mark it down at the 30, and that's where Green Bay takes over with 1:53 to play.
And another great opportunity for some of these young Chiefs defenders to get a chance to work on the 2-minute drill. Green Bay does have 1 timeout left, 70 yards to go. A field goal doesn't do them any good.
Greenwood, Daniels in there up front. Russell along with McGee, Gales, and Justin Cole. Out of the shotgun, Graham Harrell on first down. Looks right, pressure backside, steps up, throws over the middle. Caught Dillon at the 48. Brought down at the Kansas City 49 by Corey Greenwood. Pickup of 22 as the clock runs with 1:38 to go.
And this is the second time we've seen this by the Packers, where they have 2 receivers within about 3 yards of each other. Can't imagine that's the way it's supposed to play out, but it's worked out well for them tonight.
Harrell out of the shotgun. Steps up, hit, now just unloads it on the sideline. Alex McGee was there.
You see Gales getting penetration right into the backfield, putting pressure on Harrell to step up in the pocket.
So it's 2nd and 10 with 1:13 to play. Dillon and West to the right side. Corliss, the tight end. Also to the right of the formation. Harrell throws it underneath. Incomplete, intended for Dillon. Daniels on the coverage with 1:08 to play.
The Chiefs bring secondary pressure. Nice job by Travis Daniels. You have a bunch of one-on-ones across the board. Graham Harrell gets the ball out of his hands fast. Travis Daniels drives on the ball and is able to knock it loose. We talk about game management from a quarterback standpoint. I should say I talk about game management from a standpoint of the quarterback. But you also understand there's game management from the defensive side of things. And big 3rd and long for this Chiefs defense.
1:08 to play. Harrell throws over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Dillon, and here comes the laundry. Daniels. It's going to be a whistle for the pass interference with 1:03 to play.
Pass interference, defense, number 34. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Travis Daniels does a nice job of breaking on the receiver. He just gets there too early, giving Green Bay a first down.
So only 5 seconds go off the clock. Now 1:03 to play. 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 37. Harrell looks left, fires underneath, caught by incomplete. Williams had it, tried to make a step, and Mike Richardson and Donald Washington were there. So it's 2nd and 10 with 1 minute to play. Romeo Crennel and Todd Haley. And a very passionate Chiefs fan. Harrell. Crossing pattern. Dillon on the receiving end. To the 29. Daniels on the stop with 50 seconds to play as the clock runs. Corliss, the tight end, lines up to the left of the formation with Dillon and Williams. Harrell out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks right, throws it off the hands behind the intended target, West. Jackie Bates on the coverage.
Once again, a good changeup by Romeo Cornell. He decides to bring pressure, bringing Travis Daniels on the backside slot, dropping the linebackers into the middle of the field. Graham Harrell has time. It's picked up. He just has an inaccurate throw. But just that little bit of confusion, bringing the corner off the backside slot, maybe that was enough in Graham Harrell's mind to make him throw the ball sooner than what he wanted to.
4th and 2, 30 seconds to play. From the 29-yard line of Kansas City, Graham Harrell out of the shotgun, and the head linesman stops play. Timeout taken by Kansas City.
It's a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout with 30 seconds to play. As we tell you that there is still time to get your 2010 Chiefs season tickets. Great locations available with tickets starting at $250 each. Get tickets to all 10 home games, including the Monday night debut of the new Arrowhead Stadium, as Kansas City takes on San Diego to open the season. Also rivalry games against the Raiders and Broncos. You can purchase your season tickets by visiting kcchiefs.com or call 888-99-CHIEFS. Fourth and 2 after the timeout. West to the bottom of your screen. Williams and Dillon to the top. Tight end shifts to the left side of the formation. On 4th down, underneath, ball is incomplete. 26 seconds to play. Daniels with the defensive play, and Kansas City is going to pick up its first win of the preseason.
Once again, I like the call by Romeo Cornell. All night long in these situations, they've been rushing 3 and dropping 8, causing the defense to make a decision, causing the offense to make a decision. There they decide to bring pressure. They bring secondary pressure. They drop a linebacker back into coverage. Graham Harrell feels that urgency and tries getting the ball out of his hand quickly.
26 seconds to play. Brody Croyle could take a knee as Kansas City here at home picks up the win. The Palermo play of the game, courtesy of the Chiefs defense and Ricky Price.
After the Packers are driven down to get into scoring position, Ricky Price reaches up and is able to knock that ball out for our play of the game.
The Palermo's play of the game. Todd Haley and the Kansas City Chiefs pick up a win. 17-13 the final score. We'll wrap up things from Arrowhead after this on the Chiefs Television Network.